Sorry, a couple of minutes late. I'll just get ready and I'll be within 2 seconds. Right. Sorry about this. And no one's waiting anyway, so that's fine. Anyway, I'll start anyway, I think. I don't want to talk a load of twaddle, so anyone watching the replay can enjoy it, straight away. So, yeah, okay. Okay. And relax. Where's my... Yeah, I've got a drink over here. I'll just put this thing in here. That picture behind me doesn't really go with the poetry, really. I'm going to get rid of that. Doesn't go. Right, it's alright now, but let's go with the 1300. Whereas this one doesn't, though. It's a nice picture, that one, isn't it? Where's it gone? Over there. There you go, it's a beautiful picture. Filmed on a piece, painted on a piece of cardboard. I found it in a charity shop. I rather liked it. There we go. Very beautiful. I like it. It's watercolour. There we go, right. So, we've got the wife of bust now. We've put it on the stand here. Hopefully you can see it okay. Hopefully this will be okay. Right, where's the thing gone? Right, okay. This wind up so we don't lose any connection. There we go. The wife of Bust Tale from the 1300s. It's very funny, this one. It's kind of rude as well. It's pretty good. So, yeah, enjoy. We need to relax, at the end of this slightly nauseating day. Well, anyway, here we go. Geoffrey Chaucer. The Canterbury Tales. Here we go. And this is translation. I don't know the copyright for it, by Neville Coghill. Yeah. So, right, The Wife of Bust's Tale by Geoffrey Chaucer. The Wife of Bust's prologue. The prologue. Okay. Right, that's what to do. Okay. Are you sitting comfortably, everyone? Everyone begin. The Wife of Bust's Tale. The Wife of Bust's prologue. If there were no authority on earth except experience, mine for what it's worth, and that's enough for me, all goes to show that marriage is a misery and woe. And woe, for let me say, if I may make so bold, my lords, since when I was but 12 years old, thanks be to God eternal evermore, 5 husbands I've had at the church door. Should I start again? I think I'll start again, actually. Someone's wrestling the door. I'm just getting into the flow of it. Need to relax. I've just got in from, bit of a walk. Yeah. Out in the chemical, atmosphere and that. Yeah. It'd be nice if someone just called in now on the film. Maybe I'll leave it a few minutes. Yeah, I'll leave it a few minutes. What should I talk about? I'll set them up. Right, we'll leave poetry for a few minutes. I'll just do some random waffle. Ready for some random waffle? Here we go. Right. What are we going to talk about? Let's talk about how wonderful everything is, and how wonderful are people's governments, and how wonderful everything is, especially those people, those entities that hold sway over all our lives and mandate all kinds of evil shit. And let's just be thankful for them. Be thankful that they'll soon be swinging. Yeah. Yes. We're not going to let them do anything to undermine our society any longer. We can say there's going to be a sudden comeuppance for them. Those people that have gone up quite far enough already. So, yes, we'll get them. Certainly. Right. That being said, how are we going to do it? Well, I think we should use a little bit of intellect and that, we shouldn't be paranoid or anything like that. No, any phobia or hypochondria or anything. We shouldn't worry about them whatsoever. Because they love us to be fearful and scared and lily-livered and cowardly creatures. I don't want us to be like lions or tigers and bravely fighting for our cubs and freedom of speech and association, freedoms of movement and freedoms of breathing fresh air and drinking fresh water. Yay! And one of those things I noticed was I was passing by. I was out in the little town in Lancashire. I went past an old fountain, that had a very old inscription. I think it went back to possibly the 15th, something or other. It was a bit hard to read the inscription. It's rather very worn. And it had the old pipework there. And it had a kind of like a weighted piece of ironwork. So obviously when the water was coming up through the pipe, obviously under pressure from the pressure of the aquifer below, a natural pressure. This was kind of a regulator, I guess, was stopping it from coming out too fast. So this thing would swing backwards and forwards. I presume it's some kind of a regulator. So that would go in like that as the water was coming out, Can you imagine it doing that? I'll have to do a little video on that sometime. I will do sometime. But I was busy and noticed it. I was just about to rush back to the, get on the public transport system. So, which is still running amazingly. That was interesting. But of course, these aquifers, the fountains and everything. I remember when I was a kid at school. I go back a long way. Very old, decrepit, almost a fossil now, almost fossilized. So I do remember the fountain at school. You press a little button, the fountain come up and you go, slip it up. If you have a make a little fountain like that on this one. So yeah, yeah, I remember that. It was lovely, lovely fresh water, nice and cold as well. Yeah. So yeah, I remember that. And of course, the took off. Everything's got to be mains and everything. Why? It doesn't need to be, does it? It's aquifers all over the place. But I want to, I want everything on the main so you can adulterate it with fluoride and chlorine, all kinds of shit you don't need. So that's just one little thing. Anyway, so I'm not going to worry about things like that. So what are we going to do? Well, we've got a small window of opportunity, I guess, to, take on these things. Someone's coming. Would you like me to carry on reading the poetry? But I stopped for a minute because no one was listening. Now he's gone. Apparently he's gone, or she is gone, or it's gone. That thing must be listening. Yeah. So they've gone. And no one's here now. It's just me and you and the replay. Yay. So I could play a little bit of guitar. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, well, ready for playing it, I think. Yeah, well, right, filling stuff. I'm made for it. Right, anyway, so. Pretend I'm reading, I think. Right. Let's read a little bit anyway. Right, so we're starting now, and what's the time? We're 15 minutes in. 16 minutes in, okay. Speaking. If you just remember that. Well, we've got 20 minutes, or a few minutes. First of drink. Yeah. Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh, shit. Okay. I might to cool off in the hot weather. Oh well, again. Oh, don't worry. Unfortunately, it's not too bad. Luckily, the book's fairly unscathed. Right, I'm nice and cool now. It's nice and cool. Yeah. Right. Nice and cool. I'd already wet my t-shirt before I started. It's, you know. I don't know if anyone, I don't think anyone was going to tip that cup of water off myself. And I've gone anyway. Some of my fingers for a second. Have a quick look. Right. Relax. Right. It's appropriate, really. The wife of Bath's tale I'm about to read. And I'm just giving myself a kind of baptism. Yeah. That's incredible. Yeah, well, meant to be, wasn't it? Oh, warm day. Let's have a little read from the beginning. Read about Geoffrey Chaucer, shall we? About his life. Brief biography here. Geoffrey Chaucer. Geoffrey Chaucer was born in London, the son of a vintner. In about, I don't actually know. He says that birth date, about 1342. He is known to have been a page to the Countess of Ulster in 1357. So 1342, 52, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he was 15 years, a tender age of 15. And he was a page to the Countess of Ulster in 1357. And Edward III valued him highly enough to pay a part of his ransom in 1360, after he had been captured fighting in France. So in 1360, we got 1342 plus 8. It's 1350. So that was 18 and fighting in France at 18. Wow. It was probably in France that Chaucer's interest in poetry was first aroused. Certainly he soon began to translate the long allegorical poem of courtly love, the Roman de la Rose. His literary experience was further increased by visits to the Italy of Boccaccio on the king's business. He was well read in several languages and on many topics such as astronomy, medicine, physics, and alchemy. Chaucer rose in royal employment and became a knight of the Shire of Kent, 1385 to 6, and a justice of the peace. Wow, a lapse of favour during the temporary absence of his steady patron John of Gaunt, to whom he was connected by his marriage, gave him time to begin organising his unfinished Canterbury Tales. Later his fortunes revived, and at his death in 1400 he was buried in Westminster Abbey. I believe he was. He was the first poet to be buried in Poets' Corner of Westminster Abbey. So there we go. Yeah. The order of his works is uncertain, but they include the Book of the Duchess, the House of Fame, the Parliament of Fowls, Troilus and Chrysides, and a translation of Boethius's De Consolation Philosophiae. Yeah. Boethius is the guy who, I believe, if I remember rightly, who believed in a goddess called Fortuna. Yeah, had a kind of a wheel of fortune, you know, and your luck could depend on which way Fortuna was turning for you, would either increase or decrease depending on where it was on the, whatever, yeah. So anyway, this is the guy who translated stuff for work, because obviously this was done in Old English, and it's very complicated, you know, and this is a very good translation, excellent. The Old English is very, very difficult to understand. It's all, you know, the words are like thingy with those lees and stuff like that, you know, loads of, Old English basically. So he's translated it, made it readable in modern English and easily understand. And, Professor Neville Coghill held many appointments at Oxford University, where he was Merton Professor of English Literature from 1957 to 1966, and later became Emeritus Fellow at Exeter and Merton Colleges. He was born in 1899 and educated at Haileybury and Exeter College, Oxford, and served in the Great War after 1917. He wrote several books on English literature, and had a keen interest in drama, particularly Shakespearean. For many years he was a strong supporter of the Oxford University Dramatic Society and produced plays in London and Oxford. The book of the musical play Canterbury Tales, which ran at the Phoenix Theatre, London from 1968 to 1973, was co-written by Neville Coghill in collaboration with Martin Starkey, who first conceived the idea and presented the original production. His translation of Chaucer's Troilus and Chrysides into modern English is also published in the Penguin Classics. Professor Coghill, who died in November 1980, will perhaps be best remembered for his translation, which has become an enduring bestseller. For this translation, yeah, certainly is very good indeed. So, here we go. So, born in 1899, so he died in 1980, so there's 81 then, I guess. 82. So, there we go. So, what are we in? 25 minutes. Okay. Just remind myself. So I'll put that in the comments or something. Well, I'll put it in now. But, well, now I'll just start reading. You can do that afterwards. I'm going to start now because we don't never start and never finish. And it's a long, very long poem anyway. So, how many pages have we got? I don't know. I might be able to get through it. I'll be able to rattle through it in one sitting. I'm not sure. 292, 259, 258. Yes, about 30 pages. It's only poetry, so it's not like, prose, which is a bit longer, I guess. So we have to rattle it out. Okay. I'll try. Put some water in there. Maybe I'll have a wee first. A wee wee. Yay. Wee 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 wee. On the way home. Someone's there. It's a bit irritating reading to yourself. But, someone will perhaps follow it. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to promote my channel, to be honest with you. That's a good point, isn't it? How can I do that? Because it's quite kind of interesting poetry if you pay attention for 2 seconds. It is very informative. It's pissed off. I was just watching the Lurko poetry for a second. If you pay attention for 2 seconds, and you just go, gone. Great, isn't it? Fantastic. No attention span whatsoever. It's a read the bloody thing, I'll put it what it's about on the live stream. So I only read the blurb. They could have easily discovered that it wasn't their cup of tea, so why even bother to learn? No idea. Not a sight everyone's cup of tea poetry or anything intellectual persuasion whatsoever. English language is totally derided by most people. They just want to, go, yeah, right, okay. Well, that's about it. There's no perspicacity involved in the thinking process or anything. There's no brain on active duty. There's another one lurked in for a second. Heard the word perspicacity and was out of it like a shot off there. Yeah. Anyway, it's wonderful. Right. Excellent stuff. Anyway, I've lost a few subscribers there. It's wonderful. It's great. Whistling them down to the few staunch believers in my patheticness. It's wonderful, really, isn't it? My total ineptitude, total lack of comprehension of anything whatsoever. Total non-entertainment value. Wonderful, really. Anyway, that being said, that's been the greatest fun meeting a lot of you. Wonderful to take the piss out of them every now and again. persist. Right. Oh, dear. I don't know. Maybe I should have another cigarette or something. A cigarette. Parsley cigarette. Yeah, back soon. I think I'll do it back soon, man. Leave it on. And see if anyone comes in. Yeah, I'll do that. That's a good idea. Put some music on in the background. I'll take a minute. I might as well do that. Right. Right. What time we go? We'll do it. Okay. Come on, you poxies. What's the matter with it? Right. See you in 10 minutes. Oh boy, that's right. There you go. Again. page. Oh, there, there. Yeah, waste of time, isn't it? Yeah, sorry about that, folks. Just wanted. So, yeah, well, token confidence. Well, on my part, I should have just read it from the beginning. Could watch the replay. But, I don't know. I'll do it again another time, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I think I did okay, so I don't know. Might just leave it up or delete it. Might just leave it up. The hell of it. People know like nothing that's happening. That can be quite therapeutic. You know, nice to relax and hear, hopefully nothing will go. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Yeah, I could read a little poem in here. Just a short one in there. Yeah, it's a shame not to, I'm a bit tired now to read the Wyvern Bust's tale because it's a long tale. One of the longest ones, one of the best and the funniest ones as well. But there's a few ones, quite a lot of other ones that are done with it. I think that's a short one. Yeah, this is a short tale. I'll read this one. The hell of it. I can't remember what it is. Yeah, the Prioress's Tale. I think it's one that might be unfinished somewhere. I think it's one that's unfinished. Because some of them I didn't finish. I think one I didn't finish. It's not many pages. prior's tale. Right, I'll just read this one. I'll read a bit of it anyway until I get bored. I'll read something. Right, the Prioress's prologue. So it's the Prioress's tale, and this is the Prioress's prologue. Okay. O Lord, how marvellous thy name spread through the reaches of the earth, said she. Not only are thy precious praise and fame found in the mouths of men of dignity, or in the mouths of children such may be, as suck the breast, the bounty of thy ways can be declared in worship and in praise. Wherefore, in honour of thee, as best I can, of thee and of that whitest lily flower that bare thee, all without the touch of man, I tell my tale and will put forth my power, though all unable to increase her dower of honour, who is honour herself, and root out bounty next to thee, her body's fruit. O mother maid, maid mother, chaste and free, O bush unburnt, burning in Moses' sight, thou that didst ravish down from deity upon humbleness the spirit's flight, that lit upon thy heart, and in whose might the word took flesh. Help me to tell my story in reverence of thee and of thy glory. No tongue or knowledge can have confidence, lady, to tell thy great humility, thy bounty, virtue, and magnificence. For sometimes, lady, ere men pray to thee, thou goest before in thy benignity, and though thy prayer thou guessest for each one light that may guide them to thy blessed Son. Weak is my skill and speech, O blissful Queen. How then shall I declare thy worthiness, or how sustain the weight of what I mean? For as a child 12 months old or less, that hardly has a word it can express, just so am I, and therefore pity me, guide thou the song that I shall sing for thee. The Prioress's tale. In Asia once there was a Christian town, in which long since a ghetto used to be, where there were Jews supported by the crown for the foul lucre of their usury, hateful to Christ and all his company, and through this ghetto one might walk or ride, for it was free and open either side. A little school stood for the Christian flock down at the further end, and it was here a heap of children came of Christian stock, received their early schooling year by year, and the instructions suited to their ear. That is to say, in singing and in reading, the simple things of childhood and good breeding. Among these children was a widow's son, a little chorister of 7 years old, and day by day to school he used to run, and had the custom, for he had been told to do so, should he happen to behold an image of Christ's mother, to kneel and say, Hail Mary, as he went upon his way. Thus had this widow taught her little boy to reverence the mother of Christ, our dear and blissful Lady, and it was his joy. A happy child will always learn and hear. When I remember this, if ever near St. Nicholas stands in my presence, he who did Christ reverence in infancy, this little child, while he was studying his little primer, which he undertook sitting at school, heard other children sing O Alma Redemptoris from their book. Close as he dared, he drew himself to look, and listened carefully to work and part, until he knew the opening verse by heart. He had no notion what his Latin meant, being so young, so tender too, so green. But in the end, one morning there, he went and asked a comrade what the song might mean, and why it was in use. He was so keen to know it that he went upon his knees, begging the boy explain it, if you please. His schoolfellow, an older boy than he, answered him thus: This song, I've heard say, is to salute our blessed Lady. She will hear us when we turn to her and pray for help and comfort on our dying day. I can explain no more, that's all I know. I can learn singing, but my grandma's slow. Grammar. Right, I thought it said grandma from this. Sorry. And in this anthem made to reverence Christ's mother, said this innocent, If I may, I certainly will show my diligence to learn it off by heart for Christmas Day. Though they should scold me when I cannot say my primer, though they beat me thrice an hour, I'll learn it by her honour to my power. So every day his comrades secretly, as they went homewards, taught it him by rote. He sang it with a childlike clarity, and bodily, word for word and note for note by note, and twice a day it filled his little throat, going to school and coming back again, praising Christ's mother with all his might and main. As I have said, this child would go along the Jewish street, and on his own accord, daily and merrily he sang his song, O Alma Redemptoris, as it soared the sweetness of the mother of our Lord would pierce his heart. He could not choose but pray and sing as to and fro he went on his way. First of our foes, the serpent Satan shook those Jewish hearts that in his waspish nest swelled up and said, O Hebrew people, look, is this not something that should be redressed? Is such a boy to roam as he thinks best, singing to spite you canticles and saws against the reverence of your holy laws? From that time forward, all these Jews conspired to chase this innocent child from earth's face. Down a dark alleyway they found and hired a murderer who owned that secret place. And as the boy passed at his happy pace, this cursed Jew grabbed him and held him, slit his little throat and cast him in a pit. It's a bit of a dark one there, similar to the story. Cast him, I say, into a privy drain, where they were wont to void their excrement. O cursed folk of Herod, come again. Of what avail your villainous intent? Murder will out, and nothing can prevent God's honour spreading, even from such seed. The blood cries out upon your cursed deed. O martyr wedded to virginity, now mayst thou sing and follow on and on the white celestial Lamb of Heaven, said she, of whom the great evangelist St. John in Patmos wrote, who says that there they don white robes before the Lamb and sing afresh that never have known woman in the flesh. This wretched widow waited all that night. She waited for a child, but all for naught. For very early in the morning, all pale with sleepless dread and busy thought, she searched his school, then up and down. She sought elsewhere, and finally she got the news that he was last seen in the street of Jews. Within her breast her mother's pity closed. She went about as one out of mind, to every place in which, as she supposed, there was some likelihood for her to find her child. And to Christ's mother, meek and mild, she cried in heart, and in the end was brought alongside the accursed Jews, and there she thought. She made inquiry with a piteous cry of every Jew inhabiting that place, asking if they had seen her child go by, and they said no, but Jesus of his grace put in her thought after a little space to come upon the alley, as she cried, where in a pit he had been cast aside. Great God, that to perform thy praise has called the innocent of mouth, how great thy might! This gem of chastity, this emerald, this jewel of martyrdom, and ruby bright, lying with carven throat and out of sight, began to sing, O Alma, from the ground, till the place was ringing with the sound. The Christian people going through the street came crowding up, astonished at the thing, and sent to fetch the provost to entreat his presence, and he came and heard him sing, the provost praising Christ, our heavenly King, and his dear mother, honour of mankind, bade all the Jews be fettered and confined. They took the child with piteous lamentation, and he was brought, still singing out his song in high solemnity and celebration, towards the nearest abbey by the throng, his mother swimming as they went along beside the bier, could not be reconciled. A second Rachel weeping for her child. The provost then did judgment on the men who did the murder, and he bid them serve a shameful death in torment there and then on all those guilty Jews. He did not swerve. Evils shall meet the evils they deserve, and he condemned them to be drawn apart by horses. Oh dear. Then he hanged them from a cart. No, gruesome, this one. Anyway, still lay this innocent child upon his bier at the high altar where a mass was said. The abbot and his convent then drew near to hasten on his burial, and spread a rain of holy water on his head. And as they let the holy water spill, he sang, O Alma Redemptoris still. This abbot then, who was a holy man, as abbots are, or else they ought to be, an invocation of the boy began to say aloud, Dear child, I conjure thee by virtue of the Holy Trinity to say how singing is permitted thee, though thy throat is cut, or seems to be. Through to the bone my neck is cut, I know, answered the child, and had I been confined by natural law, I should long ago have died, but Christ, whose glory you may find in books, wills it also kept in mind. So for the honour of his mother dear, I still may sing, O Alma, loud and clear. That well, mercy, sweetest mother of Christ, I long have loved with all that I could bring, that at this hour of my death sufficed to draw her down to me. She bade me sing this anthem till my time of burying, as you have heard, and when my song was sung, she seemed to lay a grain upon my tongue. And so I sing as I must sing again, for love of her, the blissful and the free, till from my tongue you take away the grain. For after that the Virgin said to me, my little child, behold, I come for thee. When from thy tongue this grain of seed is taken, and have no fear, thou shalt not be forsaken. This holy monk, this abbot, even he touched the child's tongue and took away the grain. And he gave up the ghost so peacefully, so softly, and the marvel was so plain. Salt fell, the abbot's tears in trickling rain, and down he fell prostrate upon the ground, and lay as still as one who had been bound. And all the weeping covenant also bent to earth and praised Christ's mother with many a tear. And after that they rose, and forth they went, taking this little martyr from his bier, and in a sepulchre of marble clear enclosed his little body far and sweet, where he now is. God grant we all may meet. O Hugh of Lincoln, likewise murdered so by cursed Jews, is notorious, for it was but a little time ago. Pray mercy on our faltering steps, that this merciful God may multiply on us his mercy, though we be unstable and vary in love and reverence of his mother Mary. Amen. There we go. That's the Prioress's tale. That's it. That's all sorts of made up. I'm going to say bye-bye. It's all wonderful. I hope somebody enjoyed some of that stuff. It's kind of like, yeah, wouldn't greatly chuck with the story, but I don't know. Not one of his best, but never mind. Still some good poetry there. Right, jolly good show. Sorry, I'm not going again. Right, jolly good show. Have a lovely evening if you can. But I'm listening to the replay. Sorry, there's been a lot of dead air on it. You know, a lot of empty, you know, I don't know, empty, spaces, anyway. Okay, thank you. All right, bye-bye. Maybe see you tomorrow. I'm not going to do anything else. I think when we crash out, I might wake up in the middle of the night. I might just do it. Yeah, you know, some appearance, you know, which no one will pay any attention to. Anyway, that's great. See you later. Bye-bye. Thank you. Peace.